What's a joke that's so stupid it's funny? Knock knock. Who's there? Quiet horse. Quiet horse who? In a whisper nay. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay they'd be bagels. Edit. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? One's a crusty bus station. The other is a busty crustacean. What's the best thing about Switzerland? Well, the flag's a big plus. To be frank, I'd have to change my name. Statistically, 6 out of 7 dwarves are not happy. I know a really stupid knock knock joke, I just need someone else to start it for me. How do you think the unthinkable? I bought the world's worst thesaurus today. Not only was it terrible, but it was also terrible. Have you ever smelled mothballs before? The Lepers hockey game was cancelled due to a face-off in the corner. There are no divorce courts at the North Pole, so when Santa and his wife wanted to split up, they got a semicolon. They are great for separating independent clauses. Why can't the Pope be cremated? A drummer's wife had quadruplets. He wanted to name each one Anna. She asked how they will tell them apart. He replied, Anna 1, Anna 2. What's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? People in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but people in Abu Dhabi do. Being told I was deaf was really hard to hear. 2 pretzels were walking down a back alley. One was assaulted. I told my mum that when I'm older I was going to build a car out of spaghetti. You should have seen her face when I drove past her. Why don't chickens wear underwear? Because their pecker is on their face. I stole this from online, but I used it at work and got a bunch of laughs. While using the step ladder, someone said, "What do you need that ladder for?" I replied, "I never knew my real ladder. This is just my step ladder." Steak jokes are a rare medium. Well done. Edit. Everyone is telling me the midget joke. 2 hunters are out in the woods when one of them collapses. He doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed. The other guy whips out his phone and calls the emergency services. He gasps, "My friend is dead. What can I do?" The operator says, "Calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure he's dead." There is a silence. Then a shot is heard. Back on the phone. The guy says, "Okay. Now what?" What did the giraffe say when the elephant sat on it? Nothing. But it let out a little whine. I used to be good at telling jokes, but now I just punch up the duck line. Courtesy of my daughter. What do you call a broken can opener? A can opener. Why'd the old man fall down the well? Because he couldn't see that well. Why did Edward Woodward have so many D's in his name? Why? You can't run through a campsite. I saw a nice stereo on Craigslist for $1. Seller says the volume is stuck on high. I couldn't turn it down. What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? I have many jokes about unemployed people. Sadly, none of them work. A husband and wife were driving through Louisiana. As they approached Natchitoches, they started arguing about the pronunciation of the town. They argued back and forth. Then they stopped for lunch. At the counter, the husband asked the blonde waitress, "Before we order, could you please settle an argument for us? Would you please pronounce where we are very slowly?" She leaned over the counter and said, "Burger King." A man walked into a zoo. There was one dog. It was a Shih Tzu. What did one nut say when it was chasing the other nut? What do you get when you combine a dyslexic, an insomniac, and an agnostic? Someone who lies awake at night wondering if there's a dog. If Russians pronounced B's as V's, then Soviet. What was E.T. short for? Because he had little legs. What do you call an alligator in a vest? Why do chicken coupes have 2 doors? Because if they had 4, they'd be chicken sedans. What do you call a magic dog? A labracadabra. Edit. Thanks for my first gold. Q. What's a pirate's favorite letter? Wait for them to say RR. A. Yeah, he'd think so. But me first love be the C. Edit. Wow. Glad so many people enjoy this dumb joke as much as I do. Thanks for the gold and platinum. They say smoking kills, but it cures salmon. What do we want? Airplane noises. When do we want them? Ew. What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies. 2 whales are drunk at a bar. One whale says, make long whale cooing noises until everyone around you is pretty uncomfortable. Like I'm not shitting you. At least 1-2 full minutes of weird off-pitch whale noises. The other whale says, do a deep inhale like you're about to make more weird whale noises, and so that everyone around you almost gets pee said and unfriends you on Facebook. Go home. Frank. 2 cows are standing in a field. The first cow says to the second, have you heard about this mad cow disease? It makes cows go crazy and then they die. The second cow replies, good thing I'm a helicopter. Edit. Thanks for the silvers. Edit 2. Wow. Gold. This is not a joke I created. I am just glad to pass it on for others to enjoy. A priest, a pastor, and a rabbi walk into a bar. The bartender says, what is this? Some kind of joke? Why do scuba divers jump backwards out of the boat? Because if they jumped forward. Gotta go with a Hedberg classic. My fake plant died because I forgot to pretend to water it. It's just so silly. I've used that so many times. If someone asks me if I'm down sad or something and it's only ever produced confusion. Edit. Since we're posting all Mitch all day, I'm totally disappointed that the Dufferins get no mention. When you go to a restaurant and it's busy, they start a waiting list. They call out names. They say, Dufferin. Party of 2. Dufferin. Party of 2. And if no one answers, they'll say their name again. Dufferin. Party of 2. Dufferin. Party of 2. But then if no one answers, they just go right on to the next name. Bush. Party of 3. Yeah. But what happened to the Dufferins? No one seems to give a shit. Who can eat at a time like this? People are missing. A guy walks into a bar and shouts, hey, it's me. Everyone turns around. Turns out, it wasn't him. A Mexican magician told his audience he was going to vanish on the count of 3. He counted, 1, 2, and disappeared without a trace. What did Stevie Wonder say to the seagull? A pirate walks into a bar. He's walking bow-legged, because he has a steering wheel chained between his knees. The bartender asks the obvious, why do you have a steering wheel chained between your legs? The pirate answers, yeah, I don't know, but it's driven me nuts. What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick. Edit. If anyone's not sure what is brown and sticky, this thread is for you. What's green and fuzzy and can kill you if it falls out of a tree? A pool table. Guy walks up to the widow at her husband's funeral and says, may I just say one word? Sure, she replies. Plethora. The widow says, thanks. Hey, guess what? What? Good guess. Why can't hedgehogs just share the hedge? A priest, a rabbi and a whale walk into a bar. The priest walks up to the bartender and says, since I believe that our Lord and Savior has appeared on this earth as Jesus Christ, I shall drink sacramental wine. The rabbi walks up to the bartender and says, since I do not believe our Lord and Savior has appeared on this earth and am still waiting for him, I shall drink Manischewitz wine. The whale walks up to the bartender and says, Edit. Thanks much for the gold and silver. I hope this joke gets told many times over. My grandpa told this to me, and I've never been told it again by anybody. Although I know other people have to know it. One of my first grade students asked, why didn't the ant wait? No, stop. Okay, why didn't the tree want to talk? Oh, and also it was after lunch. Dart. Why? He didn't want to burp. That one still haunts me today. Reminds me of a joke my little cousin made up when she was that age. Cousin. Knock knock. Me. Who's there? Her. Purple. Me. Purple who? Her. Cackling hysterically. Purple you. Still makes me smile. Two cats are having a swimming race. One is English and one is French. Both are called 1, 2, 3. Which one won? The English cat because duh. Troy's cat sank. Why does Waldo wear stripes? Because he doesn't want to be spotted. A naked guy just dunked his balls in glitter. That's pretty nuts. Edit. Of course my first gold would be testicle related. That's how the internet works. Thanks, stranger. A skeleton walks into a bar. He goes up to the bartender and says, I'd like a beer and a mop. Two fish are in a tank. One looks at the other and says, you man the gun. I'll drive. What do you do when your hot pants catch on fire? Put them out with your pantyhose. Why do ducks have feathers? To cover their butt quacks. A girl I work with absolutely loves this one. What's green and has wheels? Grass. I lied about the wheels. Two men walked into a bar and the third guy ducked. Edit. Thank you for the gold. What do you call a sad cup of coffee? Depresso. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Classic. Closely followed by. What's blue and not very heavy? Light blue. Why do elephants paint their toenails red? So they can hide in cherry trees. Ever seen an elephant in a cherry tree? Works pretty well, doesn't it? A plateau is the highest form of flattery. Say what you want about deaf people. An Irishman walks out of a bar. Are you trying to tell me a shrimp fried this rice? Q. Why did the cows return to the marijuana field? A. It was the pot calling the cattle back. Why did the chicken go to prison? Crimes. I tried telling this one to my sister, but couldn't get through it without laughing, and she just rolled her eyes at me. Why did Sarah fall off the swing? Because she had no arms. Knock knock, who's there? Not Sarah. Edit. Thanks for the gold, you guys. Do any of you have experience making Moroccan rolls? I found a recipe in a magazine, but I wasn't sure about it because the recipe calls for thyme and a bunch of other spices. I had them all, but unfortunately they were all expired. I decided to make them anyways. Took them to a party, and they ended up all being eaten. Everyone thought they were delicious. I guess what they say is true. People love that old time Moroccan roll. What do you call a cow with 3 legs? Try it. What do you call a cow with 2 legs? Lean beef 1 leg, steak no legs, ground beef. Why do cows have hooves? Because they lactose. What do you call it when a short cow jumps over a really high barbed wire fence? Utter destruction. What do you call a sleeping cow? A bulldozer. Why do milking stools only have 3 legs? The cow has the udder. What do you call a cow that tells jokes? Laughing stock. Where do cows like to go on dates? At the movies. What do you call a cow in an earthquake? Milkshake. What do you call a cow with epilepsy? Beef jerky. What do you call it when a cow likes to play with himself? What did Batman say to Robin before they got in the car? Robin, get in the car. A termite walks into a bar and asks, where's the bartender? Have you heard of Murphy's Law? That if something can go wrong, it will go wrong? Yes. Well, have you heard of Cole's Law? No. It's mostly cabbage. I think I originally read the joke on Reddit, and I love it, so I tell it to everyone just to see them roll their eyes. What side of a duck has the most feathers? The outside. Why did the monkey fall out of the tree? It was dead. Why did the squirrel fall out of the tree? It was stapled to the monkey. Why do cows wear bells? A physicist, engineer and a statistician are out hunting. Suddenly, a deer appears 50 yards away. The physicist does some basic ballistic calculations. Assuming a vacuum, lifts his rifle to a specific angle, and shoots. The bullet lands 5 yards short. The engineer adds a fudge factor for air resistance, lifts his rifle slightly higher, and shoots. The bullet lands 5 yards long. The statistician yells, "We got him." What has 2 legs, but can't walk? Half a dog. Dad, I'm hungry. Hi hungry, I'm Dad. When I saw what happened when I threw my toaster in the bathtub, I was shocked. I was going back and forth with my GF the other day with flower-based puns. The last one made me lose it. Her. Flower power. Me. Be yourself. Her. Put the pedal to the metal. Me. I can think a lot of more flower puns, but I will leave it alone for now. Her. Haha. Me. Just kidding. Lilac, the ability to stop. Her. A bunch of laughing emojis. Me. Don't laugh too hard. You'll PSS your plants. Why can't boy ghost have babies? Because they Halloweenies. How do you say hello to a dog in Japanese? Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Exclamation point. They are pretty good at it. Pretty long, but the build-up is worth it. A. 4999. Q. What are the 3 steps for putting an elephant in a refrigerator? A. You open the door, put the elephant in, and close the door. Q. What are the 4 steps for putting giraffe in a refrigerator? A. You open the door, pull the elephant out, put the giraffe in, and close the door. Q. Lion King had a birthday party. All the animals attended but one. Who was that animal and why? A. The giraffe. It was stuck in a refrigerator. Q. Sally tries to cross the muddy swamp full of crocodiles, and emerges on the other side unscathed. How did she do it? A. All of the crocodiles were at Lion King's birthday party. Q. Sally reaches the other side, but dies anyway. What happened? A. She was hit in the head by a falling brick. A guy sees 3 large women at a bar talking with British accents. He goes up and asks, "Are you ladies from England?" One of the large women protests. "Wales." Guy. "Oh sorry. Are you Wales from England?" In order to spell panda. Want to hear 2 short jokes and a long one? What's big, red, and eats rocks? A big red rock eater. What's yellow and smells like bananas? What's brown and sticky? A stick. What's brown and rhymes with Snoop? Dr. Dre. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. What did the Hispanic firefighter name his 2 kids? Whoa. Thank you guys. Had anxiety attack and this seriously made my day. I don't get it. Why does Michael J. Fox make the best milkshakes? Because he's wealthy and uses high quality ingredients. Okay. My so told me this one and it freaking annoyed me that I laughed. Goes like this. Is an alligator greener or longer? If they answer greener, no. It's longer because it's only green on the outside, but it's long inside and out. If they answer longer, no. It's greener because it's long only on one axis but it's green all over. I hate it. What's the difference between a chickpea and a lentil? Well, I wouldn't let a lentil on my face. Why did the boy say moo? Because he's a cowboy. How many surrealists does it take to change a light bulb? 2. 1 to hold the giraffe, and 1 to fill the bathtub with brightly colored machine parts. Why do sharks swim in salt water? Because pepper water makes the sneeze. People tell me filling animals with helium is bad. I say whatever floats your goat. I had a friend that used to work in a gift shop up in southeast Alaska. He said the store was right under a tree that houses a family of angry crows. Tourists often asked him how he could tell the difference between ravens and crows. He told them and me this: all birds have specialized tail feathers that help with flight in Alaska's thin, cold air. These feathers are called pinions. If you look closely, you can tell that ravens have 4 of these feathers while crows only have 3. I guess you could say it's just a matter of opinion. A guy walks into a bar and yells all lawyers are assholes. A guy in the back stands up and says, hey, I take offense to that. What, are you a lawyer? Why did David Hasselhoff change his name to the Hoff? Where did Sally go when the bomb went off? Everywhere. My favorite joke that never fails to make me laugh. Not so much for others though. Why are alligators long and green? Because if they were short and red, they would be a tomato. Why did the legally blind guy walk into the well? Because he couldn't see that well. Where do armies go? Sleeveys. What's brown and sticky? A stick. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? Look for the fresh prince. Easily my favorite joke. Do you know why Scottish people call it a kilt? Because they killed the last man who called it a skirt. Hey, dinner is almost done. How's the turkey smell? I dunno. What's yellow and hurts when it gets in your eye? A bulldozer. Mickey Mouse is in court getting a divorce. His lawyer says, so Mr. Mouse, just to confirm, you said you wanted to divorce Minnie as she was acting crazy? Mickey says, no, I said she was ducking Goofy. My wife told me to stop acting like a flamingo. I had to put my foot down. If you leave GRPs out in the sun, they'll shrivel up and dry. A man walks into a cafe with a roll of tarmac under his arm. He says, I'll have a coffee. How do you call a black guy flying a plane? A pilot. You ducking bigot. Asked my GF this and she said, a plane? Why did the sperm cross the road? Because I put on the wrong sock this morning. What is Whitney Houston's favorite type of coordination? A fish swims into a wall. Damn. It's a long one, but it's my go-to for quickly losing friends. How do you put an elephant in a fridge? Open the door. Put it in. How do you put a giraffe in a fridge? Open the door. Take the elephant out. Put the giraffe in. Wait for a bit before telling the next part. The lion is throwing a party, and all of the animals are invited. Who's not there? The giraffe. He's still in the fridge. Some time passes. Alright. Here's a brain teaser. You have to cross a river that's infested with alligators. All you have is a log, 20 feet of twine, and a banana peel. How do you get across? Just swim. The alligators are at the party. Some time passes. How do you kill a blue elephant? Shoot it with a blue gun. How do you kill a red elephant? Squeeze it until it turns blue. Then shoot it with a blue gun. How do you kill a purple elephant? You can't. They don't exist. Why couldn't the bicycle stand? It was too tired. You guys wanna hear my pizza joke? Never mind. It's too cheesy. Why did Timothy drop his ice cream? Because he was hit by a truck. I thought I picked a booger out of my nose, but it's snot. What do you call a gay dinosaur? A Megazord. What do you call a lesbian dinosaur? As soon as you find someone with 10,000 bees, marry them. That's when you know that they'll be a keeper. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? It's okay. He woke up. So this is stolen from previous joke threads on Reddit, but the first time I told it was at a D&D session where my roommate slammed his hand on the table, yelled "duck you" at me, then walked out of the apartment. Highly recommend. A teenage boy is getting ready to take his girlfriend to the prom. First he goes to rent a tux, but there's a long tux line at the shop and it takes forever. Next, He has to get some flowers. So he heads over to the florist and there's a huge flower line there. He waits forever but eventually gets the flowers. Then he heads out to rent a limo. Unfortunately, there's a large limo line at the rental office. But he's patient and gets the job done. Finally, the day of the prom comes. The two are dancing happily and his girlfriend is having a great time. When the song is over, she asks him to get her some punch. So he heads over to the punch table and there's no punch line. From my 7-year-old daughter. Why couldn't the toilet paper cross the road? Because it got stuck in the crack. 2 muffins are in the oven. The first says, "Man, it's hot in here." The other says, "Holy shit." A talking muffin. Or someone says they are cold. Tell them to stand in a corner. It's 90 degrees. What do you call a dog that does magic tricks? Abracadabra. Did you hear about the constipated jitterbug? He couldn't jit. I swapped our bed for a trampoline. My wife hit the roof. What do we want? Low-flying airplane noises. When do we want it? My mate died from heartburn. I can't believe Gaviscon. 2 blondes fell down a hole. One said, "It's dark in here, isn't it?" The other replied, "I don't know." What do you call a deaf gynecologist? A lip reader. Knock knock. Who's there? KBG. KGB who? One of my favorites is why did Beethoven kill all his chickens? Why? They kept saying bark bark bark. Apostrophe. After the inevitable groan. Asked why did Mozart kill his chickens? Why? They kept saying bark bark bark. One wind turbine asked another, "What is your favorite type of music?" The other wind turbine replied, "I'm a big heavy metal fan."